And we're back once again, ladies and gentlemen, only on It's Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel. Now, join me here on the line. This man will be fighting once again, but this time it's going to be a different place, different scenario. It will be for a Dana White Contender Series. He's betting on himself. He's rolling the dice and betting on a bigger contract, bigger money. We're going to see what happens here and a whole lot more. I give you all the way from the UK himself, I give you it is Chris Duncan. Now, Chris, let's start off here with a big question. So it's you versus Manuel Gaxa. It's the England Contender Series. How does this come about? I mean, because you were with Bellator, you were they had rights to you. So what happened that made you go from okay, we're gonna renegotiate Bellator to hey, I'm taking my career, I'm gonna go to the UFC.
With Bellator, obviously with COVID and stuff like that, mainly the Bellator are based in America. So it was kind of a difficult situation. Bellator were putting on shows in America, but not in the UK. So having chats with my manager back and forth, we had decided to maybe ask to release, but it turns out, like my contract was coming up anyway. So we'd asked Bellator and we spoke to Bellator nicely, and we did obviously put in some things like a bit of footfall. And my manager said, this young guy's looking to kind of progress with his career. You guys haven't got any European shows on at the moment. Could we just have a straight out release? So we got the release. There's no bad blood. There's no nothing. It's just like changing jobs. It's just a different promotion, and like I said, like when we have the release, it doesn't mean that I'll never fight for Bellator again. We never burnt any bridges, and we have a good relationship, and especially with a guy Jude Samuel, he's the matchmaker in Europe. So I've got a good relationship with him. So I sent him a message and I just said thank you very much for all your opportunities, and hopefully we cross paths in the future. So, it's not a people make it out to be a big thing that I've changed promotions, but it's just like a new job for me, and obviously the UFC has always been a dream for myself. So I'm just really happy I've got this opportunity, and I'm just going to take it right underneath my wing and just use it to my full potential.
Let's talk about this. So let's talk about the Dana White Contender Series. Why this? Because you could have probably, I'm guessing you and your manager, you guys sound like you're smart people. So, and I know that you are. So you could have just said, hey, we have Bellator here. They won't give us a contract. They will be happy to. Why have a Contender Series when you're basically, at the whim of, well, it has to be an exciting fight. It has to be a finish sometimes. And B, you're taking on a guy you really don't know much about, and you're going to be fighting in Vegas, having to travel all over the place. Why was the Contender Series for you like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm going to do this, and let's make this fight happen.
So really, at the end of the day, if I was to put my head down in the pillow at night, I got the opportunity with Bellator, but I've never been one for money. Money's not the main source of drive for myself. I can't even tell you what really drives me to fight. I just really enjoy it. It keeps me out of trouble, all that sort of stuff. So if I was to put my head on the pillow when I was 17, 18, 19, when I was training MMA and stuff like that, I would always have wanted to fight in the UFC. So this opportunity arose that, I could fight on the Contender Series. And from a business point of view, I think the Contender Series is a better option for myself, because you've seen yourself, Sugar Sean O'Malley, he's starting to build himself up these ranks and stuff like that now. And he's got a lot of backing behind him. They really publish you, they really push you forward, they really push you as a brand. So with the Contender Series, I think it's a level up for me. And also the UFC are going to use that as to push me to the top. It's a very good opportunity for myself, especially in Vegas too. Like, everybody wants to go to Vegas, do they not?
So tell me about your point, Manuel Gaxa. What does he bring to the table? What kind of style is he? How much you look at this fight and go, okay, well, it's gonna be tricky here because he's undefeated. He's from Amsterdam, and you're really not sure how good he is because a lot of guys you've faced, you don't know much about. I mean, he could be great. He could be just god awful. We don't know because he's fought a bunch of guys who are 0-0, 1-1, or 1-2.
Yeah, that's the thing though. At the end of the day, I'm not there to to say, oh, I don't want this fight, or I want this fight, or I want a better fight. That name is put in front of me, and that name will now stay there until the fight, and I'm just going to put him away. Whether he's fought 10 people or one person, that name has now been put on my plate. I signed the contract, so I'm going to knock him out in spectacular fashion. And I'm not just saying that, you've seen my record. I'm fighting top guys. I'm fighting guys at my level, and I don't feel he is. So he's going to get a fright, and he's going to be in for a short night when I see him on September 21st.
What kind of style is he? I guess that's the thing. I'm guessing you and your team are sort of not concerned, but sort of quasi worried about, because, as you said, it's a Contender Series, so they want to see exciting fights. Dana loves knockouts. He loves exciting fights. We've seen guys sometimes where they'll win, they'll be dominant, but it's not exciting, and it takes two to tango. So, what kind of fighter is he in terms of his style and what he likes to do?
He likes to throw big flashy taekwondo kicks, spinning heel kicks, spinning back kicks, all this stuff that I've seen before. I've fought guys like that. I've actually prepared for a guy before this in the same kind of way. That this guy will get very tired with my pressure, and my knockout power. I don't know if you've seen any of my fights, but I'm always coming forward. I'm ready to put somebody away. So this guy, like I said, it's just a matter of time before he gets knocked out, because you can only keep the distance with those kicks for so long, and I'll back him up against the cage and put him down. I'm just looking forward to it, man. Like, he's a striker. Well, he thinks he's a striker. I bet you he shoots from me first. I can almost guarantee that.
If you're just tuning in, once again, Chris Duncan's here on the show. We're talking a lot of things going on, and we're talking the Bellator release. We're talking his Dana White Contender Series on September. We're talking his opponent. Tell me about the last year or so for you, because it's been tough, especially for a lot of European fighters, where COVID did a number. I mean, we think it was bad in the United States. It was very bad where you guys were, because sometimes lockdowns were even worse. Sometimes you couldn't even leave your home unless you had a job. For you, how tough was it where you start realizing, crap, I'm literally losing my, years off my career because of something I have no control over. I can't fight it. I can't, deal with it here. It's just there, and I'm just, helpless.
Well, to be totally honest with you, it was difficult for myself, like in a personal level, because training is a release for myself. I like to go out and I like to train, and I like to get better all the time. But at the end of the day, it is taking years off my career, well, a year or a year and a half, if you like. But really, everybody was kind of in the same boat. We were all in this circumstance. This is a worldwide pandemic. And I'm almost like, I was sneaking in and doing training myself, and I was doing this and that, so I've always put in the extra credit. So I used that time to maybe not upskill as such, say upskill. I say for instance, I couldn't get into the gym to wrestle. I took it upon myself to go out sprinting, and I hired a personal trainer to help me with sprints outside, because we were allowed to take personal training outside. So I did things like that. I upskilled and things like that. I started working on my flexibility. I moved into yoga, blah, 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 So at the end of the day, you've got to really just deal with what's in front of you at the present moment. So doing things like that has given me a focus, and it was able to help get through the lockdowns and stuff like that a lot quicker, because I wasn't only just thinking about fighting, I was building on myself, making myself better as a person and also an athlete. So that helped dramatically throughout the lockdowns and stuff like that.
Was there ever thought of moving? And when I say that, because I'm guessing, when you're talking Bellator, they probably said, hey, if you come to the United States, we'll get you fights. We will have fights lined up, especially at lightweight, where they're looking for somebody to blow the doors off. So was that an option, or was that something for you where it's like, I can't leave Scotland? I can't leave my home. This is my home. I don't want to, leave yet.
Oh no, I would have left. If I could have left, I would have. The flights from the UK were totally banned. There was some flights going back and forth, but I don't have my visa. So the UFC have kindly put my visa in place to put in an emergency appointment. So my visa will be done in the next week or so. So then I can fly to the States to go to American Top Team and train again with the best team in the world. So if I had the choice of getting up and leaving and going, I would have. But unfortunately, that wasn't a choice. I'm all or nothing. So if there was a choice for me to go out and train and get a fight, I would have done it. And everybody around me knows I would have done that at the time. But that's why I wasn't getting fights with Bellator, because we weren't actually allowed to fly out of the UK. The UFC were managing to make moves and bring people over, but I think the UFC just had a bit more pulling power.
Is it time for you? But I'm just saying leave Scotland for good. Move to the United States full time. Is that something you're thinking of? Like, maybe it's time for me to do that. Where this, MMA, it's fixed here in the United States. Wherever you want to say, it's bigger here. My opportunities are bigger. I know if it's Scotland's your home, you're born there, you're raised there, you are Scottish. Is there a part of you it's like, you know what? Might be time for me to move. It might be time for me to leave Scotland for good, move to the United States, and make this my full-time career.
Yeah, definitely. That's on the cards. There's a lot of football that goes along with that. The getting the visa, applying for a green card, all that sort of stuff. I'm not just going to go up and leave my family. I have a wee girl and I have my girlfriend here. So there'll be a long, drawn-out process, so that'll need to happen. But as soon as I get the chance to take my family across to the States and get a house, I will be doing that, because in the UK, it's like you say, the opportunities aren't there for a young guy like myself. So that will be the plan in the future, and I'm really looking forward to it, because I've been to America a few times. I really love the country. It's a great place. It's hot, it's sunny. It's not like Scotland when it's absolutely peeing down with rain all the time. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting over there and training again. But as I said, in the future, getting over there and living there full time.
It all comes down once again to September 21st, Dana White Contender Series. You, Manuel Gaxa. How nervous are you about this in terms of, as I said, it's out of your control. And that's the worst part I hate about these Contender Series fights, where it's, well, if I like this guy, he's fun to watch. Hey, I'll sign him. Or hey, he gets a big knockout, I'll sign him. You could fight the best fight of your life. You could dominate this guy. You could be just 3 rounds of total domination, and you might not got picked up. That's unfortunate. Is there a part of it looks and goes, crap, I got to pull something out my ass, spinning, wheel kick, knockout kick, body slam, power bomb. How much is there that little voice going, okay, you got to do something spectacular, so maybe we'll just sign you, because that's how they like. They want, to go, wow, I want my socks knocked off.
Yeah. Well, every single one of my fights has been like that. So I have no doubt in my mind that I will get this UFC contract. And you can look back at this interview and say, this guy was pretty confident. But I know within my heart and I know within my skill set that this is going to happen. I will put this guy away. I will knock him out. It's just, there's no doubt about it. The guy is not on my level. So when I get in there, he's going to be in for a short night. Everybody says, oh, he's going to be in for a long night. This guy's in for a short night. I tell you that.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I give you the problem himself. I give you Chris Duncan. Chris, before we let you go, where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, the website? Where can fans hit you up at?
You can get me on my Instagram. It's the _ problem 155. And my Twitter page is the problem 155. So if you want to get me on there, send me a message and give me a wee share. Get that social media following going up and up and up.
Chris Duncan, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the problem is with us here, as he'll be fighting September 21st, only in Las Vegas, Nevada, Contender Series against Manuel Gaxa. Check your time local listings for more details and where to fight, only on UFC Fight Pass. We come back. Stay tuned. We got more big interviews coming up here, only on It's Last Call. Last Call without the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel.